On rocks might not get you a kid, but dying in a cave sure will. Let's talk about the Darkling race, featured in my mangas based on my D&D game, that all share the same world. And all this lore is coming from the mating manual. What I love about the Darklings is they are the perfect example of what one person can do to change the fate of an entire race. Before we get into all that, let's ask the question, how are Darklings made? The important thing that you need to know about Darklings is the original origin story. But unlike the Cyclopses, their origin story is pretty simple. There was once a man who was filled with anger and regret and lived in the network, which is kind of like the Underdark. But for some reason, he ended up dying, and instead of his soul passing on and being collected by Reaper, goddess of death, Orkan Pharaoh, the spirit of death and wind, his soul ended up permeating onto the nearby rocks and thus giving birth to the very first Darkling. I can hear some of you saying, wait, but Dark, doesn't that just basically mean he just got a new body? It's the same person, so can it really be called birth? Kind of, but here's the thing about the Darkling species. Darklings retain all of the memories and knowledge of the souls that are used to create them, but they have no emotional or personal attachment to it. So when a new Darkling is born, they have all the information, but they are blank personalities that gain a personality and identity through exploring the world, using the knowledge as a baseline for navigating the world. And the process I just described is called malicious soul saturation and transmutation, or MSST. Now let's move on to the second one, which is called soul injection, which this image right here is depicting. Biologically, what you need to know about the Darklings is that there's basically three components to them. You have the soul that's the inside of their bodies, and then you have this rock formation. Literally inside the shell is literally just soul energy. This black mass right here is remnants of souls that they have captured, and each of these eyes are a soul that they have acquired. And normally for substance, they will effectively devour a soul. But in this case, they have the ability to transmit souls into a rock mass, thus creating a new Darkling. But whenever you use soul injection and multiple souls are used to create a Darkling, a couple things can happen. One is all the memories of the souls that have been gathered to create that Darkling are basically comprised in that person's memory, aka forming a new Darkling with more information to go off of. But once again, they are still a blank template. But however, a Darkling, if they just kill something, absorb the souls, and it becomes like an eye on their mane or their tail, they do not gain the knowledge of that soul. They only gain that knowledge if it is used to create a new Darkling. But there is a birth defect called Murgrel, where if multiple souls are used to create a Darkling, there is a chance that the soul's personalities can actually leak into the new Darkling, causing a form of dissociation, confusion, and personality shifts. What if you wanted to start a family with a Darkling? I'll get this video to 10,000 likes and I'll discuss Lady Orgly, the most famous Darkling and one who had a relationship with Desolation, the god of destruction, as his grand priestess. But if you want to get your hands on the mating manual entries, grab a ruby gold while we're developing it, or get an original character into the lore by grabbing a diamond, or you can follow the stories where all this takes place by grabbing one of the physical copies of The Devil's Dealer and Night of Slaughter.